let's talk about something that can be absolutely terrifying: vertigo. You know that sudden, violent feeling that the world has just started spinning completely out of control. So in the next few minutes, we're going to break down what it is, what's actually happening inside your body, and most importantly, what you can do about it. Let's dive right in. Have you ever experienced this? Maybe you were just lying in bed, perfectly still, and bam, the whole room just erupts into a high-speed spin. Or maybe you went to get up and it felt like the floor just vanished from under you. That terrifying sensation, often with that wave of nausea and a cold sweat, that is the experience of vertigo.
All right, section 1, when the world spins. First things first, we have to get really specific about what this feeling is, because it's so important to understand that vertigo is not just any old dizzy spell.
Look, we all use the word dizzy for a lot of different things, but this is a critical distinction to make. Vertigo is not that feeling of being lightheaded or like you might faint. No, it's a very specific, very intense sensation of rotation, the feeling that either you are spinning or the whole world is spinning around you. It's a whole different beast. Okay, section 2, not a disease, an alarm. Now, this brings us to probably the single most important idea to wrap your head around. We need to completely reframe how we think about what vertigo is. So here's the key takeaway. Vertigo is not the disease, it's a symptom. The best way to think about it is like a fire alarm. The blaring alarm isn't the fire, right? But it's screaming at you that there's a problem somewhere that you need to pay attention to. And in this case, that problem is somewhere in your body's balance system. You know, your ability to just stand upright without even thinking about it is this constant, amazing feat of coordination. Your eyes tell your brain where you are in the room, your muscles and joints sense the floor beneath you, but the true master controller, the command center for this whole operation, is hidden deep inside your inner ear. Section 3. Your inner gyroscope. So let's zoom in on this system. Honestly, the best way to understand it is to think of it as this stunningly sophisticated piece of tech you were born with. So tucked away in your inner ear, you have this incredible system of tiny canals. They're filled with fluid and lined with these microscopic little sensors. As you move your head, that fluid sloshes around and it tells these sensors exactly how you're tilted or turning. It's a biological gyroscope, constantly feeding your brain super precise data on every single movement you make. Section 4. The story of the crystals. Okay, so if this system is so brilliant, what in the world causes it to go haywire? Well, the most common answer is a pretty fascinating story about something tiny ending up in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's time to meet the main culprit, BPV. Now, I know, it's a long name, but every word tells us something really important. Benign means it's not life-threatening. Paroxysmal means it happens in sudden, brief attacks. And positional means it's triggered by certain head movements. This is the most common cause of vertigo, and here's the best news. It's also highly treatable. So, how does BPV actually work? Well, in one part of your inner ear, you have these tiny calcium carbonate crystals. They're supposed to be there, but sometimes, maybe because of age, a minor head bump, or for no clear reason at all, a few of them break loose. And they can float into one of those sensitive balance canals where they just don't belong. So now, when you move your head, like just rolling over in bed, these stray crystals move the fluid, they trigger the sensors, and they send this powerful but completely false signal to your brain. And this quote just captures the resulting chaos perfectly. Your inner ear is screaming at your brain, "We are spinning!" But at the exact same moment, your eyes are reporting back, "Nope, we are perfectly still." Your brain gets caught in the middle of these two totally conflicting signals, and that sensory mismatch creates the overwhelming sensation of vertigo. Now, while BPPV is by far the most common cause, it's not the only one. Vertigo can also be a sign of a viral infection or inflammation in the inner ear, and less commonly, it can be related to conditions like Meniere's disease or even what we call central causes, where the issue is actually in the brain, like with certain types of migraines. This is exactly why you can't self-diagnose, and it is so critical to see a doctor. So that brings us to Section 5, what to do now. Understanding what's happening is that crucial first step, but now let's talk about the most important part, what you do about it. Here is your simple 3-step action plan. Number 1, the second you feel an attack starting, sit down. The biggest immediate danger is taking a fall. Number 2, see a doctor. Please do not ignore this signal your body is sending you. And 3, work with your doctor to find the cause. They are the detective who can trace that alarm back to its real source. And I really want to end with some incredibly hopeful news.
If your doctor confirms that you have BPPV, that story of the crystals, the fix can be remarkably simple. A trained professional can perform what's called a repositioning maneuver. It's just a series of specific head movements they guide you through right there in the office. These maneuvers use gravity to literally guide those rogue crystals out of the canal and back where they belong. And very often, this can resolve the vertigo in a single session. It's pretty amazing.
So the ultimate takeaway is this. Vertigo is a message, a powerful and really scary one for sure, but it's a message nonetheless. The real question isn't just what to do when the world spins, but are you listening to what your body is trying to tell you?